We'll get up there. Up on Blade View now, under course statistics, you'll see a link to an Excel spreadsheet called Grade Calculator. If you click on that link, you can download, and you need to actually download the Excel file. When you download the file, this is a spreadsheet that's available to help you know where you stand in this course. This time of year I get lots of emails, where exactly, Dr. Hinkle, am I in this course? Right? This will help you figure that out. Right? All you need to do, on Blade View, you can add up your weighted score for your assignments. That's something between 0 and 25, so you can add up those weighted scores, plug that in. Plug in your 3 exam scores. Know that the spreadsheet automatically drops your lowest grade, right? Because that's what it'll do. It'll drop your lowest exam score. And you'll note, you can also then play with your exam scores for the 4th exam and say for the final. Because down here in the bottom right, you'll see it's calculating, telling you what your final grade is based on this exam 4 and this final. I mean, I could say, hey, Dr. Hinkle, what if I ace the final? Is that possible? You get an 85, right? And so this spreadsheet is available to you. Use Excel. You just enter in your scores. Play around. What I find it's helpful to do is, plug in your average exam score for exam 4 and the exam and the final, right? So say, what happens if I just stay the same? And then what happens? And that's probably where your floor is, right? That's, where your worst case scenario, that's what you're looking at. But then plug in, okay, what if I do a little bit better? And plug in those options, and you can see what the impact's going to be on your grade. So that's available to you on Blade View. Use it, access it. Also recognize that when you log into Blade View, you should see you have an assignment on biotechnology. It needs to be completed by the 18th. So make sure you get those question sets done too. Okay, don't miss out on any more assignment points. Any questions? So again, that Excel sheet, you need to plug in your own scores. All those are just examples, so make sure you plug in your own scores. If you have any problems accessing it, using it, send me an email, come see me, and we'll take a look at it. Okay? So that's available to you there. But this week, as I said, we're going to finish up those learning objectives because don't forget, on Tuesday, 1 week from today, is exam 4. Right? That last semester exam. No, that exam's written, which is good for me. I'll wait for y'all. By Thursday, I will be uploading the final exam objectives too. Right? So you'll have all the objectives for the final exam as well. We'll spend the last bit of class after Tuesday's exam getting ready for that. We're going to spend those last class sessions reviewing those objectives that we've talked about all semester that will show up on your final. So that is our plan for the rest of the semester there. We'll finish up this week talking about biotechnology. Then we'll have an exam on Tuesday, and then we'll spend time getting ready for the final exam as we close out the semester. So we're almost there. And today we're going to talk about transgenic organisms. Right? We're going to talk about these things, these transgenic organisms. And I thought we were going to have that conversation, start that conversation. Well, you all, believe it or not, probably have some experience with transgenic organisms. So I want you to think about, what do you know? And you can share what you know, so you already have been sharing what you know on Slido. What do you know about transgenic organisms? Give you 2 minutes to brainstorm. And if we were to make a transgenic organism, what would we need to know? Right? What would we need to be able to do in order to make these things if we wanted to? So I'll give you guys 2 minutes to share some of your thoughts there. Looks like, what do you know about transgenic organisms? They're transgenic. Up on the, you can see it down at your phone, the output on the screen for those who may not have a device. Modified organisms, genes genetically altered, right? Genetically modified. Right? When we're talking about transgenic organisms, we're talking about organisms that have been genetically modified, that we've changed the DNA in some manner. Right? Some way we've changed and we've altered the DNA. That's a transgenic organism. I think it was interesting looking at some other responses. Altered genes, transplanted from one species to another, man-made, harmful to humans. Now that's an interesting one we're going to talk about a little bit too. Right? We've heard a lot about genetically engineered organisms, genetically modified organisms, and so we're spending some time thinking about how we make them and what we can do with them. Maybe what we should do with them, what we shouldn't do with them. There. So transgenic organism is simply just any organism which we've altered or inserted a new novel gene. We've given them a new novel gene. That gene had to come from somewhere. That gene had to come from another organism. So we take a gene from one thing and we put it into another. And a great example of these are glowfish. Now, when I was in college, I wanted a fish that looked really cool under a black light. I would buy this thing on your left, right? This little clear fish that's got some pink in it, right? That fish was man-made. And the way we would make these fish over here is people would inject them with a little bit of fluorescent paint, right? So we take these clear fish, inject them with a little fluorescent paint. The paint doesn't bother the fish. It makes them look cool, I guess. And they glowed when you put them under a light. Of course, it's paint put into a fish, and it doesn't last very long. So you have these fish swimming around in a tank, and after a few months, the paint sort of breaks down, and the fish just look like fish. And, well, I guess that's only so interesting. Right? But now, if you want a fish that glows under a black light, you can go to the store and buy glowfish. Fish that will glow for their entire existence because they are, as the company says, born that way.